Hello, my friends. It's April 25th, 2017, and it's time for today's big story. Alright, we're diving into a messy one today. I'm covering this to try and clear things up and to give a one defined message about this whole situation, because it's getting a little messy, and it's certainly worth talking about and bringing attention to, more so than there already is. This is about the potential for Axiom Verge releasing on the Switch. So a couple days back, there was some information that said Axiom Verge is coming to the Switch, as it was confirmed, and that turned out not to be true. That part of the story is said and done. We don't need any more details on that. It was untrue. What we knew before that was the developer of the game, Tom Happ, was trying to bring it to the Switch, was very interested in the Switch. And Dan Adelman, who is crucial to getting the game out on various platforms, including the Wii U at the time, is deeply involved still with the game. So those two guys were trying to make a Switch version of the game happen. They said they had reached out to Nintendo and were trying to bring it to the platform. And obviously that still hasn't happened yet. And the story is why. Why hasn't that happened? And that's where we get to where we are today. So then with the news of the confirmed and not confirmed Axiom Verge for Switch, it obviously made it out onto social media, and it got back to Dan Adelman, and he's the one that cleared things up, blah blah blah. But discussion of the game not being on Switch yet was brought up, and lots of people were tweeting Dan saying, why isn't it happening? Why hasn't it come to the Switch yet? And Dan is obviously very familiar with how the digital side of things at Nintendo goes, because he used to work at Nintendo and head up their digital stuff. Not there anymore, but still, he's got some keen insight and obviously has connections there. So he said on Twitter the game isn't there yet because he needs to wait for Nintendo to say it's okay. And apparently he's been trying, or him and Tom Happ have been trying to contact Nintendo about potentially doing a Switch version for a while now. And Adelman said they could have had it out at launch, so obviously they've been trying to reach out for quite some time. Now here's where the story gets a little bit muddy, and I want to be clear that this, if it did happen, is only confirmed through secondhand accounts. There are screenshots out there, but the tweet was removed if it was there to begin with, so I don't know if it was there to begin with, blah blah blah, but there are images out there that people were saying, or the conversation continued with Adelman about bringing the game to Switch, and he said Adelman said they've been trying to reach out to Nintendo for over a year to bring the game to Switch, and he basically said Nintendo's being douches. That's his word, not mine. I want to double confirm here. He says, we've been asking them non-stop if this tweet is accurate, and he did actually say this, which again, it is not on his timeline now. I've researched it through everybody that was involved in the tweet, and I can't find it. I do have sources and commenters on Go Nintendo saying that they did see it at some point. So, all we have is secondhand. But the tweet said, if it was true, it said, we've been asking them non-stop for over a year, they're being douches. So obviously, there's some frustration there. We're trying to get the game out on Switch, and for whatever reason, Nintendo's not being receptive to it. And you would think with Dan Adelman having a history with Nintendo, maybe he would know exactly how to go about making this happen, and it hasn't happened yet. So some frustration there. But obviously, if you're trying to get a game out on a platform and you're facing frustrations, you shouldn't exactly go around calling the company you're trying to work with douches. They're probably going to be not as likely to work with you. But people get frustrated, people make mistakes. It is what it is. Again, I want to specify this tweet is no longer on Twitter, and we have people saying it was actually there. We have a screenshot of it from a third-party source, but it's not there right now. Hammer over on Go Nintendo says, wow, Nintendo hates Metroid so much that their disdain extends even to games that are just in the same genre. It's good to have a little bit of humor about this situation. Yeah, I know, the Metroid story is a completely different thing with Nintendo, but Axiom Verge came out on the Wii U, so obviously Nintendo was interested in the game and supported bringing the game there. Why it hasn't come to Switch, and why it's having such a rough time coming to Switch, we don't know. We've heard that Nintendo isn't interested in ports of other games in the first year to Switch. Now, obviously, we've seen ports on the Switch. There's stuff like Snake Pass, and there's stuff like the Tomorrow Corporation games, those 3 titles which appeared on Wii and Wii U. But those are different circumstances. Snake Pass was coming out day and date with the other versions. Tomorrow Corp's games came out years and years ago. I apologize for that. And it seems like Nintendo might be trying to stop games from coming out on Switch that are new within the last year, but there are still circumstances where that's not true. Like, how old is Enter the Gungeon? We know Enter the Gungeon is coming to the system, and is it more than a year old? I could be, but you know, here's the real truth. Nintendo's not going to come forward and say exactly what's happening here, nor are they going to come forward and tell us what their policies are. So we're left to speculate, which muddies the waters and causes all kinds of bad discussions. So like I said, I felt this video was important to put out there. It's a topic that's getting a lot of traction right now. So hopefully some of this stuff has been cleared up and you can see where the discussion's coming from and why people are talking about it so much. Alright, my friends, that's today's big story for April 25th, 2017. Thanks for watching and liking and subscribing and commenting. It's very much appreciated. I'll be here tomorrow for whatever tomorrow's big story is, and I sure hope you'll join me to see what it is as well. So until then, have a lovely day, have a lovely evening, and I will see you in a few short hours. Hey guys, RMC here from Go Nintendo. If you like what you saw in the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe? We'd love to have you. If you want to see what else we're up to, you can check out GoNintendo.com for 24-hour Nintendo news. You can visit us on Facebook at Facebook.com/GoNintendo. You can check us out on Twitter at Twitter.com/GoNintendoTweet. And we're even over on Instagram at Instagram.com/GoNintendo. I put all the links in the description just to make it easier for you guys to follow. Thanks a lot.